My name is Arin Lindauer, and you're listening to A Life Without Struggle. I'm a wife, a mother of 2 wonderful children, a 2-time best-selling author, and a highly driven and successful entrepreneur. In my 17-plus year career as a mindset and health expert, I know what holds women back from a life you only dream about. Whether you're a CEO, a businesswoman, or executive, I started this podcast because I have been where you are, and I know you want and deserve more out of your life. I believe women are limitless. We just get lost along the way. The process to get you there is the topic and purpose of this podcast. When you understand what you want, you can truly step into a life without struggle. Welcome, and I'm so thankful you're here. Welcome back to another episode of Life Without Struggle. Today, we're going to decode a really, really important topic for women. And we're going to decode what I want to lose weight, the phrase I want to lose weight really means. So again, this only comes because I've had the privilege and honor to work with so many women. And it's fascinating what holds a woman stuck, what helps a woman get over the edge, what helps a woman fully embrace and embody this new version of themselves, and how this actually changes your life. And so this is for all my women who are like struggle bus trying to lose the weight, who are frustrated, the scale's not moving, who knows they probably need to do something different, but yet we keep waking up and doing the same thing over and over. Or for the woman who has maybe hired a coach and maybe you didn't see results and you're frustrated, like what gives? I've thrown how much money at this and yeah, I'm not seeing results. So there's more to it, right? And I think for any woman who has gotten on the other side of weight loss, you get it. And it's so hard to articulate to that woman how good she's going to feel. And so for me, it's really about leading a woman down the path of understanding the shifts. And these shifts are so micro in the moment that most women don't understand them, but they're truly everything that happens on this journey. So why this woman who hasn't really embraced this whole concept, why doesn't she fully get it? And she doesn't fully get it because she's got tunnel vision. You have been literally trying to lose weight your entire life. You have been trained to chase a number on the scale and not a life change, an identity change. You've never been shown that how weight loss actually ties back to your identity, to your energy, to just you as a person. Anytime I ask a woman, okay, great, you want to lose 30 pounds, 20 pounds, whatever the number is, tell me, what is that going to do for you? What changes in your life when you lose the 30 pounds? For most women, this stops you in their tracks. For most women, they ghost me after that. For most women, they're afraid to answer that question. And that's what I want to go deeper in today. And the other thing too is we have this whole myth around willpower. We think that success equals trying harder. This is something that even myself, any time that you think about success, creation, wealth, just anything in business, you think, oh, I'm going to have to grind, hustle, work harder. And that's not really true. And it's not true with weight loss either. And no one has taught you how much your hormones are playing into the picture, your stress, your sleep, and how much muscle actually drives more results than just I gotta willpower and knuckle down and try harder, right? That's such a program. Also, our past attempts and failing, those create a lot of embarrassment. Those create so many I'm just going to avoid this. I'm not going to think about it because it has taken your joy. It feels risky anytime you try to lose weight again. And unfortunately, there's just a bunch of crap out there. If I hear one more time about using Optavia, Medifast, Stanford diet, or what are all carnivore or keto, Whole30. I mean, there's just so many diets and fads and things out there that I don't blame you, especially when you just want to lose weight. You're desperate for something to just work. And could this be in our own mind, in our optimism, we're like, this is it. This is going to work. And there's so many flaws in all of those systems. You've tried the plans, you've tried the classes, you've done the apps, you're $9.99 or whatever, and nothing integrates the bigger picture. It's not integrating real, solid nutrition, plus progressive resistance training, plus your mindset, plus your hormones. And so you've never actually felt the true shift, the true change in your body. And it's not reliable. Nothing you have done in the past has been reliable. And you're wired to take care of everyone else. Like, this is something that I know is you picturing your own life upgraded. It almost feels selfish. Like, well, I don't want to get too skinny. I've heard that one too. And I was just like, wait, what? Like, we got to get there first. Or we downgrade the fact, well, my husband loves me the way I am. That is a dangerous statement that I've heard so many times. And all we're doing is we're undermining your dreams, your wants. And again, you can't tell me what you actually want. So let's dig into this, okay? So what lose the weight, and I'm using quotations, what lose the weight actually does for you. This is the real payoff that I want you to understand. There's a whole identity and self-trust, okay? When you wake up thinking, I can count on me, not I hope today goes better than yesterday. Do you see the difference? So when you wake up and you know that you can trust yourself, when you say you're going to do something, you do it. When you desire a certain result, guess what? It happens. Versus, I just kind of hope today goes well. I hope no bombs drop today. Well, guess what's going to happen? That's what's going to happen. Also, you've got to trade in this, I'm going to start over on Monday. This is a loop of promises that you keep trying to make to yourself, yet you fail by Thursday, by Friday, every single time. Also, you have to stop hiding in the photos, the clothes, because this is where you need to show up and be fully present. You need to be proud to stand in the front of the photo, to stand beside the child, not with the child in front of you hiding everything. Be proud, be strong, be confident. Also understanding how this impacts your energy, your mood, your brain, because let's be honest, in this perimenopause, menopause, and which again, I still need to come back to this podcast. This is just a time and space in our life. This is not a death sentence. This is not our hormones went to hell. Yes, they're changing, but I'll tell you what, when you get your body composition in a better spot, you navigate these changes 1,000 times better. So that brain fog. So instead, we want focus. We want, fewer caffeine crutches to lean on all the time. Can you imagine just feeling really alert and always like firing on all cylinders? Also, it helps that when you're taking care of yourself, your sleep gets so much better. I have watched my sleep score just go up, up, up. And I will tell you, for me, this has been one that I've had to really, really work on to get, because when you wake up rested and You feel good. You have the clarity. You're not resentful. You're not hateful from the moment you wake up. You're not struggling from the second to, get the cup of coffee. It's, hey, let's roll. Let's go. Life is good. You have such a stability in your mood that I'll tell you, like when you're snapping less, when you have less tears, again, nothing wrong with having emotions. It's because your blood sugar and your cortisol, all of those pieces actually play a huge part into this. And so as much as we just want to blame our hormones, well, guess what? When you lose the weight, these things stabilize as well. I'm not going to say you don't have your moments. I'm not going to say we don't have our surges at different points of our cycle. If you're still cycling, that's called normal. Hello, welcome to being a female. I am all new to this all over again after 20 some years of suppressing my hormones. I'm like, oh, hello, hormones, there you are. But I will tell you, this is called normal. This is what we should feel. This is another big one. So when you lose the weight, your body confidence and just the comfort in your own skin totally changes. When your clothes predictively fit, when you walk in your closet and literally everything fits. It's not the skinny jeans. It's not the, can I sort of fit in this right now? What's going to cover up? It's when you actually put things on and there's no panic, there's no freaking out because you have an event, you have a meeting. It's cool. Which color do I want to put on? What do I want to highlight? How do I want to present myself? And you have less aches, okay? No offense to anyone getting in our 40s, 50s, 60s, but listen, stuff starts talking to us. I have, case in point, I have bone on bone in my knees, and I've had that literally since I was 30, and arthritis, cool. If one more person tells me they have osteoarthritis, cool, yeah, me too. We all have it. If we have degeneration or what else is it, stenosis in our vertebra, guess what? Me too. It's all good. And it doesn't mean that you can't do things. Yes, there's an appropriate way to work through it. There's an appropriate way. But when you have lowered your inflammation, I can tell you tenfold. What was my cortisol was like 34, 35 when I really started digging into my biomarkers. And for anyone, if you're unaware of cortisol numbers, that's like off the charts. Okay. 22 is the high end of normal. And long story short, I am now thankfully down into the 14s, excited to see what this last blood draw presents. But I was a hot mess going into learning all these biomarkers. And it wasn't just from a physiological stress. I had a lot of physical stress on my body from doing the things that we did for a living and picking up plates and weights and moving around in the gym. And it was wild how much that catches up with you. So when everything feels good and you're able to go up the stairs, no big deal. You're able to travel and hike and have all the fun things. You get to play and just feel so good in your own skin again. You don't have to worry about hiking the steps and am I going to make it, biking across wherever, or, getting out on the paddleboard and just having so much fun out there. This last vacation that we took was just so special and just so amazing. And they had paddleboards and kayaks, and I was super excited to use them. And it was so fun because I was out on the paddleboard and I hooked the kids to it with a raft, and I was able to, take them for a ride, which was really fun. And I think at one point I had both of the kids on the paddleboard standing up and navigating, which, again, when you're strong and your body's in really good shape, you can do these things, let alone let's talk about picking up your luggage and hauling it through the airport, or heaven forbid, we carry in all the groceries in one trip. Like that's a really important one to me. Or being able to lift, like getting into the gym, or can you imagine in your home gym if you actually had to get heavier dumbbells. Like that is such a big day with any of my clients who have had to order the 25s or the 30s or the 35s because girl, you're strong. You're a lot stronger than you realize. And that's what becomes so fun when you lose the weight. Also, things that really hit is hormones. Your hormones, the symptoms in perimenopause, I'm not going to say they're gone, but guess what? Your belly's not as bloated, which yes, is hormonal. You're not having the hot flashes. You're not having the night sweats. I mean, this is something that is so interesting for me because I thought that was all normal. I thought having those night sweats were normal. And what's interesting now, knowing and regulating and working through my hormones, is I can really tie some of these symptoms into different phases of my cycle. And it's tolerable. It's not, oh my God, what just happened? I just woke up in a puddle, which I have been there, but it's okay. Hey, I'm in this phase of my cycle. And guess what? Okay, yeah, that actually ties together. That is normal and cool. This is just part of what our body goes through and changing. But I will tell you, when you've lost the weight, you navigate perimenopause symptoms and menopause symptoms 10,000 times better. Also, your insulin sensitivity, all of this goes absolutely in the right direction. Also, when you have muscle mass, I cannot talk enough about muscle mass. I actually am so thankful that the GLP-1 came to the market the way it did, and it's making everyone talk about muscle mass finally, because whether you did a low calorie restrictive diet that didn't focus on protein and you didn't do resistance training, guess what? You are doing the same quote unquote, I don't even want to say damage, but metabolically you are impacting your body just the same as what the GLP-1 is doing if you did a low calorie diet and you lost weight. And the cool thing about this is it's not a death sentence. This is something that all you have to do then is start progressively resistance training and start focusing on recompositioning your body. So there's a lot to be said when, quote unquote, maybe you lost weight very aggressively, but you got the weight off and now we can put lean tissue on. The problem is most people, they just sign up for the GLP-1, they sign up for the super restrictive diet, they get the weight off, hallelujah, finally that number on the scale, but they're in a worse off metabolic state. Therefore, your hormones get jacked up even worse. And for most people, you put the weight right back on. And then that puts you in an even worse metabolic state. So the next time you try to lose weight, guess what? It's even harder. So that one is a tough one. So another huge advantage to losing the weight, what this does for your relationship, your desire returns because you feel desirable, okay? Your desire for intimacy returns because you feel good in your own skin. You seek deeper connection versus just avoiding it. And if you didn't listen to my last podcast, I highly recommend listening to that. You have more patience. You have more patience with your kids, with your partner. You're less irritable because you're just not so depleted. And you set boundaries. Like I feel way more confident about how I navigate business, obligations, and you learn to stop overcommitting just to earn people's approval. I'll never forget when we took our kids to the back to school and I was standing there and you were putting all their supplies and stuff away. And there was a sheet to sign in for room parent and all these different volunteers. And I was just like, oh my God, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Because the people pleaser in me wanted to sign up, but the realist in me was like, girl, you don't have time, nor is it one of my strengths. And I stood there fighting myself, but I can tell you, I feel so confident inside who I am, what season of life I'm in, that I didn't feel the pressure and I was able to walk away knowing that there was another mom or dad that was going to put their time because that's where they're at and what season of life they are in. So the things too that happen, and again, I have to speak into this because women do not understand when you finally lose this weight, when you don't have to worry about weight loss anymore, your career and your leadership absolutely changes. Your presence sharpens, you speak up, you ask for a raise. I mean, heaven forbid, you travel without dread of family photos and, going into the hotel gym and, oh my gosh, is someone going to see me in the gym? But you lead by example. You lead your team differently. Instead of maybe having meetings where you're eating crumble cookies and just devouring whatever latest, greatest foodie, whatever, you actually say, hey, can we have a walk and talk? Or you say, hey, when we go to the conference, like instead of getting, smashed, let's actually just focus on maybe a cocktail. And then I want to go to bed early and let's go get a hike in. Let's go get a workout in. That's the kind of leaders that we need more of in this world, because your reputation shifts from just this workhorse, who parties hard, who gets after it, to just this well-led woman. You're confident, you're strong, but you take care of yourself and you take pride in, hey, I don't have to get hammered at the next conference. So your lifestyle turns into this yes to the beach trips, yes to dancing, yes to hiking, yes to all the pictures. Like, please take pictures because guess what? You look so good. And you go to order confidently because you know what's going to nourish your body and what feels good to put in your body. So I can't reiterate enough how much this all matters, that you have to ask yourself, when I lose the weight, what changes? And if anything, I hope that I'm painting this picture of a mental bandwidth that will silence your anxiety. You will have so much more cognitive load for life. You can handle stress way better. When stuff happens, there's just less fatigue and you can navigate it better. The other thing too, and this is an interesting one because it's amazing to me how many times women are sick. It's amazing how many times, even a client shares with me that they're sick, they have a cold, they have something. And when you get in really, really good health, you're sick very far and few between. I mean, knock on wood, I rarely find myself. I mean, it's typically when I go down, it is something like COVID or something like, pretty major. And you have fewer sick days. You have more days that you feel better. And so the thing that I want to speak into with this is when you finally lose this weight, what it's going to do for you is it's going to give you more purpose. You're going to have more influence because other women are going to watch you and they're going to say, hey girl, what are you doing? Like, I noticed a big change just in you personally. It seems like there's something different. There's a different aura about you. And it's because you're modeling this healthy ambition. Not only does your daughter see this, your colleagues see this, your sisters see this, your neighbors see this, and this gives them an opening to say, gosh, if she can do it, I can do it too. And we need more women lifting other women up. And you maybe don't say anything, but you model it by your behavior. So when you say you want to lose 20 pounds, what it really means is you want to feel good in your own skin. No more crossing your arms, covering up, hiding. You want certainty. Want to do what you say you're going to do in the time you said you were going to do it. You want more power. When you walk in a room, you want heads to turn. You want people to be like, dang, what'd she do? You want the ease of travel, the ease of clothes fitting, the ease of just life, no drama. You want the desire. You want the desire between you and your partner, your spouse, your husband. You want to have that again. You want to have that spark. So I'm here to share with you that when you lose the weight, it's not that the weight loss is the prize. Okay. Like the scale, the number on the scale, cool. But it's really about this woman that you get to be all day, every day. And when you haven't been there, it's extremely hard to understand everything that I'm saying right now. You're probably rolling your eyes saying, cool, good for you, girl. Like, you're one of the lucky ones, whatever. But I'm here to tell you that that is really, really bad programming. That's a lot of disbelief in yourself. That's a lot of failed attempts. That's a lot of really crappy programs that didn't work. That was just a Band-Aid, and I'm sorry. But what I want you to understand is when you finally lose this weight, when you say, I'm worth the investment in myself, to hire a competent coach, to hire someone who actually gets me, who's not a 20-something, who's not a 30-something, who actually went to school for this, who is going to actually show me how to progressively resistance train, who's going to show me how to eat real food, who's going to show me how to travel, who's going to show me how to navigate a birthday party, who's going to show me how to navigate Christmas, holidays, whatever. This is where you become this new version of you, this version of you who doesn't hold back, who always goes for the things that you want in life, who has better intimacy with their partner, who has a better relationship with their kids, with their loved ones, who handles stress totally differently, who doesn't blame their hormones every time the wind blows. Sorry. Who says, you know what? I deserve to look the way I want to look. And guess what? I'm actually willing to do the work. So the prize isn't the weight loss. The prize is the person you become, the identity shift. But for most of us, this program is running so absolutely wrong in our minds. And that's actually the real problem. You think it's just lifting and working out. And I'm here to tell you it is 10,000% a whole nother ballpark. Now, do we have to have those nuances? 100%. But you're missing the big part of everything that I talk about in all of these podcasts is there has to be a shift from a mental standpoint. If your coach isn't helping you with the mindset of how to understand how you have to navigate life now, if you're always in crisis, if you're always waiting for the ball, I can hear your language because I'm highly trained in this stuff, because guess what? I struggled with it myself first, and I had to do the hard work on myself first in order to be able to help you. So let this podcast sink in. I know it's going to hit, because you need to think about when you say, I want to lose the weight on the scale, what you need to be asking yourself is, when I lose the weight on the scale, what is that actually going to do for me? What changes in my life? If you can't come up with that answer, guess what? That's actually the problem. And you need someone such as myself to help you work through that. If you can answer that question and you're coming up with all these amazing things that you actually want, but then you're sitting here trying to piecemeal this together, buying this cute app, this cute workout, kind of sort of doing the nutrition, that there is more of the strategy. You're missing the actual strategy and understanding how to do this along with the mindset. So when this hits home, because I know it's going to, I want you to reach out to me. All you got to do is hit me up on any social media, Arin Lindauer, which Arin is spelled A-R-I-N, Lindauer is L-I-N-D-A-U-E-R, and just shoot me a message. I'm actually the one going to respond. So shoot me a message and let's set up a call and we can talk more about you, your health, and what's been holding you back and how to move forward. All right, ladies, go get them.